This is Colleen Guerry coming at you live from Bridgestone Arena, where we just witnessed Mayor David Briley sign over the lease for a plot on 5th and Broadway to Henry Beecher Hicks, the president and CEO of the National Museum of African American Music. This addition to Nashville's downtown culture has been 20 years in the making and will be opening its doors to the public early next year as an educational and entertaining experience for all. This is Colleen Guerry from Metro 3. Back to you, Chris. Looks like the weather isn't the only thing heating up in Music City this summer. For the past several months, dozens of local politicians have been vying for a voice in the future of the metropolitan government of Nashville and Davidson County with regard to issues such as police leadership, downtown advancement versus neighborhood development, and yes, scooter protocols. Fortunately, the frenzy of election season is finally over, for the most part. On August 1st, voters flocked to the polls to choose between 10 candidates for mayor, one of whom was incumbent David Briley, who won the position in spring of 2018 after the resignation of Megan Barry. Other mayoral frontrunners included Councilman-at-Large John Cooper, Democratic State Representative John Ray Clemens, and conservative former Vanderbilt political science professor Carol Swain. Even though Representative Clemens and Dr. Swain are both longtime community leaders, they only received 16% and 21% of the votes, respectively. As for Mayor Briley, he found himself with 25%, while Councilman Cooper's platform of, quote, effective progressivism and his background in real estate earned him 35%. However, since none of the mayoral candidates reached the minimum 50%, the official winner will not be declared until the runoff election between Briley and Cooper on September 12th. The August ballot also featured approximately 100 candidates competing for 35 Metro Council positions, as well as 5 at-large seats and the vice mayorship. Just like the mayoral election, though, 8 districts and 4 at-large seats have been deferred to the September runoffs. In other words, when it comes to local politics, nothing is set in stone until Nashvillians return to the polls next month. This is Colleen Guerry for Metro 3. Back to you, Chris. While some people will be panicking over finals next week, others will be heading downtown to try to get a glimpse of the next generation of pro football legends. That's right, from April 25th to April 27th, the NFL draft will be taking over Nashville, with countless players, owners, coaches, teammates, families, and, of course, fans taking up every hotel room and Airbnb in the entire city. This is going to be the most epic extravaganza in Nashville history. However, not every Nashville native was pleased that Music City was selected to host the NFL draft that would involve bulldozing more than 20 beautifully blooming cherry blossom trees, which were a gift from Japan as a symbol of friendship, all right before this city's annual Cherry Blossom Festival. Fortunately, Mayor David Briley compromised with the protesters by promising to safely relocate 10 trees, leaving the others right where they were, and plant 200 more trees after the draft has brought in over $100 million and over 100,000 tourists to our fair city. Seeing as we are in Music City, it would be downright treasonous of me to ignore the biggest event of the year for the Country Music Association. On Wednesday night, the Bridgestone Arena was packed with country singers and celebrities in their best cowboy swag for the 52nd Annual CMA Awards, which, FYI, is completely different from the 53rd Annual ACM Awards that I covered back in April. Despite the frigid rain outside, these country icons still had a twinkle in their eyes. Or maybe that was just the spotlights reflecting off all the bling. And I ain't just talking about the ladies' bling. And she's back! Colleen Guerry here to wrap up March and kick off April by answering the questions keeping everybody up at night. Who bit Beyonce? Does the sushi at Nama really live up to the hype? And with everyone flaunting their Easter best last weekend, who still managed to come out on top in the fashion world? All these answers and more coming up on The Scoop.